everyone, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good day. Hope you are all having an amazing day today. My name is Lex. There's another one of those damn packer truck lorry things with the ramp on the front. And welcome back to some more GTA 5, where today we're looking at some more cars from the Vanilla Works Extended Mod Pack. Today, I want to take a look at this. This is the Hizoku. This is based on the Warrener, but it is a pickup truck version of the Warrener. So this is a classic style Japanese mini truck, which is something that we don't really have in GTA 5 until now. So this is going to be quite exciting for me. And it's not just this version. There is also a custom version that's all raced up with wide arches and all that sort of fun stuff. So we're going to be building like one of these and one of the custom ones, so there's lots to get on with in today's video. So before we do get into any of that, there's going to be some comments on the screen. These are comments featured from the previous video. If you would like your comments featured, you can leave them in the comment section below. I'll pick some at random and feature them at the start of the next video. And don't forget, you can also follow me on Twitter at Figureight. Links for my Twitter are in the description below. And of course, I did recently do a video on how to install car mods and all that sort of stuff incredibly easily for GTA 5. There'll be a link in the description below. You can check that out if you're still not 100% sure on how to install car mods in GTA 5. That should be a huge help to you. And in fact, even if you know how to install mods, you might learn an even quicker and better way than you've been using so far. So give that video a watch. So, now that we've got round this track, I'm trying to find somewhere easy to park again. Always having this problem around here. Do you know what? I'm just going to drive into the city this time because we really need a nice, smooth, open area to modify these things. Okay, so I found us a nice place, just parked up at someone's driveway, because why not? This should be fine. And let's check this baby out. So let's just have a look around. So this looks very similar to the Warrener. In fact, what I'm going to do is actually, I'm going to spawn in the Warrener and see where the similarities lie. Okay, so here we are spawned in with the Warrener for comparison, and straight away, there is one glaringly obvious difference, and that is the ride height. This thing is definitely supposed to be like a works truck. It's not aiming to be slammed, although I've got to say this rear is quite low compared to the front, but I'm guessing that's supposed to simulate the look of weight in the back, I guess, or is that just maybe a normal pickup truck style stance? Do they normally go up at the front? Never really noticed that before, but I think we'll definitely have to fix that up when it comes to modifying that, for sure. But apart from that, you can see that the fronts are relatively the same. You can see they've got a different badge on this one compared to this one. This one's got 2600 LX, whereas this one's got Anis badged on there. This one has a nice smooth front bumper, whereas this one has like these black bars as well as the plate curving round. Still got the same style wing mirrors as well. On the pickup truck, this has a badge on the side that says Hizoku, which is really cool, whereas obviously this one doesn't have any badging at all. But apart from that, and I mean, once you get past this bit of the front, they are very much different. In fact, even this top part of where the windscreen is different on this one. There's just more of a curve, it goes deeper down. This one doesn't have really any of that at all. Definitely a completely different look. So it's only the front that really seems to be the same. Everything from the back, not sure what this might be based on actually, but interesting. This is definitely a mini truck, and also you can see on the interior, this one has like the old regular style muscle car interior, whereas this actually doesn't have the same thing. It has a different style classic interior with a bench seat, of course. I'd say the staple of this sort of truck from this era is the bench seat, which looks amazing. Let's just go ahead and take a look under the bonnet as well, see what it's like under there. Okay, so I've got the bonnets up, and of course these both have these awesome rear opening style bonnets, which I'm always a big fan of. And they both have these rather large looking style engines, which actually, when you go by how these sound, these engines look a bit too much for the car. But they're the same engine, anyway, from the original Warrener, so I guess that all matches perfectly fine. And of course, the trunk door does open as well. Lovely job. So let's just go ahead and tune this thing, see what we can do. So in customs, there is actually nothing that we can do with this one, so this is pretty much it. So I'm just going to make this, seems we've got the custom one to look at in just a second. I'm going to keep this one nice and retro looking, but at the same time make it a little bit more sort of slammed or whatever, because reasons. So for this one, I'm actually going to go for something from the Bennies section, because I'm thinking that the smoothies are going to work really nicely with this one, but I think I'll just go with the chrome lip, or maybe full solid color. I don't know, let's see. We'll play around with the colors. And actually, I'm going to move it around here as well, because the other one's just getting in the way now. So in terms of suspension mods, we have the lowered, the street, the sport, and the competition, which really doesn't offer much of a slam. If you want to get this thing slammed down, V-Stancer is a must-have, especially if you want to iron out that rake thing going on there. So for the paints, I think I'm going for a worn. I want to go for a nice light blue, if possible. I'm just feeling that for the classic style one. Something like this, I think is going to look really nice, especially with that interior. I've just noticed that it does also change the colour of the stripe, which is really cool, so even that ties in nicely. I am a big fan of that. And then for the wheels, I think we might just go for a frost white because that ends up looking like a cream in the way that this colour comes out. It does look slightly off-white, so I think that's going to look nice because we can't get any of the really awesome like white walls or anything like that with these wheels. Now, I did say that there was no tuning parts, but there are a few extras. There are a few little bits that can make this slightly different between each build. So, Extra 4 is a full cover for the bed, which is really nice. Then we have Extra 5, which adds this bracing, and would this just be called a cage for a pickup truck, or is this called something else? I don't know if pickup trucks have a certain name for it, but it's roll cage-esque stuff for the bed. I'm sure there's another name. You guys can tell me that in the comment section below, because I don't have it on hand right now. Then we have Extra 7, which is actually the number plate, which is different from this one, because this one's sort of like all bent and sort of wonky looking, whereas this is a nice fitted one with a surround for it as well. Or we can get rid of that, which I actually prefer the look of it without, to be honest. We also have Extra 11, which I believe is just the cup holder. Yeah, there we go. So for this build, I think we'll actually just go with the cover, as I really like how that looks. Really nice. And then what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to do just a little bit on the suspension menu. I just want to get rid of that rake going on. So there we go. There's level, and maybe we can go just a little bit down on the front. Maybe a little bit of visual lowering. And I don't want to go like too far, but like that alone just makes it look so much nicer and neater in my opinion. Maybe we'll go ahead and just bring the wheels out just a little bit. But I'm not going to go crazy with this one because we do have the custom version next. So I think that one is done. So let's now move on and spawn in the custom version. And here it is. Get a load of this thing. There's definitely a lot more going on with this one. Let's just give this a rev. This does have the full Sultan RS sounds going on. And the flames and the turbo. Awesome. Okay, so let's just go ahead and move this around here so we can compare it. So as you can see, compared to the original pickup truck, it does still have the same bumper setup and grille setup, but it does have that little air vent with that light right there, which is really cool, nice and mean looking. And also the bottom bit underneath has been extended, and we've just got this nice little chin spoiler thing going on. Always nice. On the side, we have these bolted on arches, front and rear, as you can see there. And of course, we have these different wheels, these sort of mini light wheels sticking out on the arches there, which is pretty cool. Although definitely going to have to give that the V-Stancer treatment in a minute, I think. As for the interior, they do seem to be pretty much the same. We have got a different colour wheel there, but I think that might just be tied to the paint colour. But the dashboard's the same, but this has got rid of the big old bench seat, and it's added in this little bit in the middle, which the other one didn't have. Or just, oh, I see, just the bench seat was pretty thin around that part. I see, I get it. But we now have these racing seats instead because, you know, custom. And then on the rear, we have this one. I do believe that this whole bit here is an extra. We'll have to check that in just a minute. But it does have this cage bit, which is a little bit different to how we had it on the other one. And this spoiler as well attached to the back. That's an interesting choice. So let's go ahead and see what sort of tuning things we can do for this one. So let's go to vehicle options, menus, customs. And again, as you can see, there's nothing but there are some liveries for the custom version, so we'll check those out in just a minute. I'm going to change the paint colour first, just so we get a nice base so we can see it properly. And in fact, whilst I'm here, I might as well move this round into the light better. Okay, so I've changed it to a silver colour just so we can see the liveries a bit better. But apart from that, and the few extras, that's it. I mean, you can change the wheels, you change the engine, brake, transmission, everything else. We've got the suspension tuning, which is pretty much the same as before. This doesn't give you a huge slamming, so if you wanted that slammed, you do need to have the V-Stancer mod. So let's go to extras and see what we've got here. So extra 5 is that whole setup on the rear where we had the spoiler attached to the big cage system. Then we have number 7, which I do believe is going to be that front plate. Again, we don't want that. It looks so much nicer without it. Extra 11, once again, is going to be the cup holder. And that means that extra 4 is going to be that cover just like we had with that one. So in this case, I'm actually going to go with that cage with the spoiler, because I guess that's sort of racy looking. I guess that suits this car better, especially with these big old wide arches. This is definitely the more crazy looking one of the set. So let's go ahead, we'll stick the turbo on, we'll go ahead and just tune this up, but we're not really going to race it around that much. And let's just go to liveries. We'll change the wheels and stuff in just a second. We might even keep these wheels. We'll have a look and see. So we have the stock livery. We have Benny's Gold, which is all just Benny's sponsored racing stuff. Support violent driving. Japanese spirit. Bigness. Benny's Original Motorworks. Kazama Hard Stand. Vanilla Works. There you can see there's a nice Vanilla Works logo there. Benny's Original Motorworks.com. Even got the site there. Fukaru sponsorships. And we've also got a bit of a flame decal going on. Not too sold on that one. We also have the Benny's white version, which is basically just the white version of the flame instead of having it in gold. Then we have Benny's black, which is again, all of those white things are now put into black, so you can have some lighter colours with that one. Then we have number 9, which is, ooh, I like how that looks. So we've got this Japanese stuff going on here, all in some katakana. Okay, so at one point I did actually know how to read katakana, but I only recognize some of these, like the I think that's a chi or a su, sumo, supu. I don't fully understand. I can't fully read that. I used to know it, but it's just slipping my mind. I guess I'm just replacing it with all the Korean that I've been learning lately. So then we have the katakana. It just looks cool, at least, even if you don't know what it says. And we've got the number 9 with these nice graphics on the side here. And also we've got this black. In fact, this is a carbon fiber bonnet. Yeah, that's a full carbon bonnet added as the livery. And also we've got this black bed at the back here. And, of course, we've got that same statement on the rear door for the bed. Then we have the Retro Racer, which is pretty similar. Oh, we've actually got some more Japanese. This one's actually in hiragana this time. Subarashi desu. I can actually read that one. Subarashi desu. Okay. Yeah, just katakana is just the one that I just never fully got into because I didn't really get far into Japanese before I got bored. Just wasn't the language for me. Anichus Motorsports. Motorsports. Okay, that's what it says. Anis Motorsports. I get it now. I'm starting to remember. Actually, I didn't remember. It just says it there in English. So there's the white version of that one. Slightly different from the number 9. It's also got all the stuff. Instead of having the carbon bonnet, it's also got this on the front. Also the white all the way around the front as well. And some slightly different graphics. Then we also have Retro Racer 2. Slightly different. Number 5 this time. Still says Subarashi desu. And up there, Chappelle, Wiwang, different sponsors going on there. And then we also have the Sankudo Special, which is a military-style livery. Actually, I'm going to go for that one because I just want to see what it looks like in a different colour. And then we're going to go for probably one of the Retro Racer ones. So if we go for something like a matte olive drab, oh, there we go. Look at that. That suits it perfectly. Nice dark earth desert tan is actually a little bit too bright, but that olive drab foliage green, they work nicely. That is so cool. Well, for this one, I'm actually feeling Retro Racer number 1, but we're going to have to go ahead and change the colour again. Okay, so going through the colours of these, and actually, it's I didn't want to go for a red again, as I feel like I'm using red. We haven't used it in this video at least, but I do use red too often, so I'm a bit scared of using the red, but I do think the red looks best, especially in this worn section. Ah, man, I don't know. Maybe it's just the fact that there's just too much white in that livery, I think is just not working for me. So actually, I'm going to go for the number 9 and just go ahead and change the colour again because this gold just isn't working. Okay, I'm going to go for the 9 and I'm going to go for the worn golden red because it's sort of like an orangey colour but not at the same time. I actually really like the look of that colour for this one, so I'm going to go for that. That's pretty nice. And then we're just left with the wheels and the stance. So let's just have a look. I think that we might have a problem with the wheels where all the other wheels that we're going to use are just a little bit too thin. I think that might be what happens. Let's just have a look. And you know what? They're still wide. They're still good, actually. Okay. Right. Okay, let's just try and find one of these that works. In fact, to be honest, they all work. Even the 3 spokes works for this one. They all look cool. So I might go for this one because it's still quite retro Japanese style. I think that's going to look pretty nice. And I could actually try and get a matching colour. Although these might be just a little bit too dark. Sunset red is just a bit too orange. I guess if this is a warm colour, we're not going to get a match. So, I don't know. Even just that bronze, actually. Although that doesn't really suit the main color. Okay, so I've gone around and changed the color again. I feel like I've gone for too much blue now in this video. I really just cannot decide what color I like best with this one. So I'm going to try in the shadowish silver because it's got a sort of blue tone in it. And it goes really nice with the wheels, I feel. So I'm just going to go for that. And then it's just a case of hitting up V-Stancer. And I'm going to try and get this as flush looking as possible. So I was going to go for the rear height. Bring that down and bring the wheels out just a little bit. I mean, these arches aren't very big, so I can see very quickly that these wheels are going to stick through it. But I'll also go for just a little bit of camber, as this is supposed to be a custom one. See, there you go. Straight away, those wheels are going to go through. That's pretty much the lowest you're going to get for this build. And then front. Of course, you could just leave it as it is, but I want to be experimental and go crazy, so we'll give this a try. And that's pretty much it. That's what we can get out of this one if it's properly slammed with a little bit of camber. Although, maybe it's just like the slight rise on that driveway, but yeah, it just looks a bit bottom heavy now. So actually, I think I might get rid of some of that camber and just bring that in and just bring it up just a little bit. Just like that. I think that works actually a lot better than before. And there you go, guys. That is it. I want you guys to let me know in the comment section below which one you prefer. Do you prefer the nice, stock, calm, classic, or this highly tuned custom version with all the liveries? But there we go, guys. That is it for this video. If you've enjoyed this video, please let me know by rating, commenting, and subscribing. And I'll see you guys all next time. Oh, listen to that. That's very nice. Suits this pickup truck really well, to be honest. That is cool. So there we go, guys. See you all next time. Goodbye.